Now you.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Happy
Merry
December.
Christmas.
Happy holidays. As promised,
Yes.
festive.
We are in
Yes.
our holiday sweaters, and we hope you are as well.
Yes.
And
We
I
still have-
have eggnog.
I have nog without the egg. I hope that you have emailed us, you and your holiday festivities.
Yes.
We do have.
Yes, we have.
We-
We had some participation
We did.
for
Yeah.
the promotion we were running.
Our holiday attire.
What was the promotion, Keisha?
Well, I just thought it would be fun for us to. I'm hearing feedback. I just thought it would be fun for us to dress in our holiday attire. I have an entire Christmas. I celebrate Christmas bin. I have other holidays that I celebrate, but not as much as Christmas. So I had to move into my own bin. So I just thought it'd be fun to dress up.
Happy holidays, my Carter. You're the sweetest child I've ever
is
did
he
not have.
on? Oh,
He
he's
is
on.
on.
Hi,
Okay,
Carter.
Yes, hi, Carter.
So I
He
thought
says
it'd be
the
fun.
bin is full.
The
He says
bin
your
is
full.
overflowing.
You know what,
Yeah.
Keisha? I have like 5.
You have 5.
I was surprised. I'm like, how did I get all these sweaters?
Yeah. Do you still have your lights from last year that light
I
up?
do have my lights. I'm not sure if they work, but I
Oh.
did see them at the dollar store.
Okay, no. You should pick up some. Mine
I
still
will
work from
have
last year.
some.
Do you have any lights that light up, Daria? Well, I do.
I do. I buy Dory.
Yeah, we're having my Daria.
I do not have this.
Yeah.
You don't have lights?
No.
They're
Oh,
really
no.
very cool.
You're getting lights.
Yeah, you're getting lights. Yeah, drop them off. Let's
Okay.
get them. Let's
Were
get
they
them.
battery operated?
There's
Yes.
a battery in them. I don't know. I mean, when they don't work, you
Or
just
it's
go to-
solar powered?
No, battery.
they're totally battery.
Yeah, they're totally battery. But I got them last year because I saw
Me
your
too.
lights. Yeah.
Oh, I still have them.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they work.
I,
So-
I do remember. It's a necklace, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how many holiday sweaters do you have?
I think I might have one.
Okay.
And
Well,
this
it's beautiful.
is
And
not
growing.
it. This is borrowed.
Well,
No, but you have that one.
Yes,
Yes.
but this is not my own. But my good friend to my left, 2 spots over,
to the left.
let me borrow it.
So we're gonna work on your
Christmas
bit, holiday.
attire,
Yeah,
then.
I have
Oh.
leggings.
Okay.
I've got sweaters. I've got t-shirts.
That would make various people very proud.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna do that. We're
I
gonna
would
do
like
And
that.
then
I
we're
would
gonna
like
get her
to-
some mistletoe.
Oh, some mistletoe.
Some mistletoe.
Yeah, for
yes,
all over.
you should have mistletoe.
Yeah, you totally.
You
should.
know, I really should.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well,
Yes,
I've got my
I
work
wish
cut
one of
out
my
for me.
good girlfriends want me mistletoe.
Yeah.
When I was single.
Oh yeah. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I think Elisa is here.
Oh,
Elisa, where is your
And
picture?
wait, so it's Tony. Tony came
Tony.
in before
Tony,
Elisa.
hi
Tony.
Tony.
Tony, we got your email. Awesome.
Elisa says no ugly sweater.
No, this is my mom.
No, Elisa says she does not have one. we will have to work
Elisa,
on
this
yours.
is concerning as well.
Everyone must have a live.
Right, you must
ugly
celebrate
sweater.
everything.
Mine
Wear
has
the book.
tassels.
Yeah, you just got a dog.
Oh,
You're a dog mom, and you have a dog
I
sweater.
am a dog mom,
You are.
and I'm a dog sweater. I'm a 3-dog mom.
You are 3 times over.
triple dog.
Triple
dog.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
I don't have a llama, but glasses, yes. So, you know.
Very special. Yes, I have. This one has. Wait, get ready.
Yeah.
I love Rudolph.
I love it. I love it.
But I'll put it to the back again.
Yeah. So that's nice. So we have Elisa and Tony.
Yes, and Tony
Okay.
and Carter.
So
for now.
so listen, what are you all looking forward to during the holiday season? Because we're in it. Like, what's the most exciting thing?
Well, my Kenny is home from college, so I'm excited about that. And just being with the kids, doing most of nothing.
Yeah.
Just nothing,
Yeah.
doing nothing.
taking it down a notch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Taking it down, relaxing, not having an agenda, not having a to-do list, just being and enjoying the moment.
What about you, Daria?
I think I'm looking forward to seeing everybody just be nice to each other. You know, the holidays are a time when even strangers start, doing things, holding the door,
Yeah.
saying hello when you're waiting in line, long lines.
Yeah.
People start, making conversation. So
Sure.
that I like this time of year because people that normally would not be nice are nice.
They show kindness and
Yes.
I'm looking forward to definitely some downtime. Not as much travel for 10 days, so that will be awesome. And I think
The world traveler.
the world
Is slowing
traveler,
down.
slowing down, shutting it down after this week, which would be nice. And I think hanging with the family. This time is always so it's so short but so precious. So I'm trying to maximize, which I think is why I have so many things to celebrate Christmas, because I would really like it to be a longer season. It just doesn't seem long enough. And I think also with the way like Thanksgiving fell this year, it just
Everything
feels
was compressed.
It really feels compressed.
I didn't notice that, but I'm sure it was.
Yeah, it feels like it's like a week less. Like I feel like I had one less week of like holidaying.
Oh, hold on now. So we've got to acknowledge we have a new visitor, first time joiner. Sophia Loman.
Sophia Loman. Hi, Sophia. Elisa's
Welcome.
sister-in-law.
Welcome.
And I'd like to ask Keisha's question to everybody watching, right? What are you all looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to?
The holidays.
Yeah.
Not the bill, not your credit card.
Not that. But the other stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, identity theft picks up too around this time of year.
It does.
With all so much more online transactions and people feeling desperation.
Yes.
People do feel a sense of desperation, I think, around the holidays when they are not in a position to provide.
Absolutely.
And that's the expectation for this time of year, that everybody's supposed to have everything that they want and be all joyful. Well, not everybody can do that.
Right.
So,
and then, having disappointed, children and all of that. Yeah.
So be on alert.
Be on alert. Check frequently your bank account statements and, you're through the app or whatever.
Through the app.
Yeah.
The app.
Whatever your banking app.
Right.
Definitely check it.
Or have nothing in your account that you don't have to worry.
Well, yeah, that's true too. That is true too. But I think, if there's like a favorite family recipe that happens only at Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, what are some of those things? I think that, So my parents, they make ham, like ham on the bone. So it's like smoked and it's like the most beautiful thing ever. And we stay over, we eat it for breakfast the next day. So like that's one holiday food that I absolutely love.
Because it's also tradition. It's tasty and it's tradition.
And tradition. Absolutely. Yeah. What about you? Is there a favorite dish?
Anything with spaghetti.
Really?
Anything with spaghetti sauce, spaghetti, anything with pasta, anything with pasta.
Wow.
Macaroni and cheese, spaghetti meatballs, lasagna, stuffed shell.
Interesting.
Rigatoni. Anything.
You might have some Italian roots.
Girl. I'm sure I do.
I'm sure. What about you? Is there a favorite food?
Toni has lasagna.
Oh,
yes,
well,
Toni.
What you made me think about when you were talking about the ham, my father would bake pies for everybody. Sweet potato pies. And now that he's unable to do that, my sister and I were talking about maybe helping him make the pies this year.
Yes.
That would be so nice.
And then surprising everybody,
So
here's
nice.
his pie, because it's been
Yeah.
so long since he's actually been able to make them.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So-
tradition. That's what it's all about,
Yeah.
right?
So-
Pick up the gauntlet and kind of go with her.
I've never tried to do it. They might not come out that well.
Daria, knowing you.
Well, my sister's the baker.
Well,
so,
But listen to Lou.
Yeah.
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 That's true. That's
Yep.
Just
And
do
just
what Lou
follow.
tells y'all to do.
true. Yeah, because I'm sure he remembers it.
I know he does.
That's why we need to get it out of him now while he still can.
and write
Yeah,
it
can and
down.
share
Yes,
with you.
yes.
Yeah. And videotape the whole experience so you
Yes.
can kind of play it back.
For
in the
real. On a
future.
tripod.
Yes.
That would be funny. That would be
It would
funny.
be really great.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, we're thinking about all these things now. We have to make sure we capture them and savor for the next generation.
Absolutely.
What anybody else?
Carter said, learning in public school is over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he's looking forward to all his field trips. All his field trips.
Yeah, it's a 5-day week, Carter, right? And you have like 3 field trips this week.
And Toni has lasagna. Like Danielle, you said all your Italian stuff. Toni has lasagna.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love lasagna. Oh my goodness. With different kinds of meats and cheeses.
And Sophia, what are you guys looking forward to during the holidays?
Elisa might be doing something with ice skating, she said. She had to dip away. But what about Sophia?
Yes. Oh, yes. That would be great. I mean, to hear kind
But
of
I feel like Tori needs to move over. I feel like
I do.
she's out of the
Am I
shot.
out of this?
I feel like you're like a little bit out.
Inch in.
Oh, yeah, inch in. Oh,
There
that's
we
better.
go.
There you go. All right.
Get
So we'll listen. We'll wait to hear what everybody's excited for the holidays.
Hanging with the baby and family time.
Oh,
yes.
Sophia,
Toni said
yes.
family time.
Family
Sophia
time.
said, or
Yeah.
Sophia.
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 Yeah.
Hanging with the baby.
She has a beautiful baby boy.
Oh, yay, baby boys. Yay. Well, we're boy moms too, so that's always exciting.
Yeah.
So let's dig into this book.
Oh my.
I'm sorry. Did I say that? out loud?
Well, usually I start with you, Danielle, about
Let's start with Daria.
Let's start with Daria today.
Okay.
Did you like the book?
No. And
Tell us
the
about it.
only reason I finished this book is because I love these two women so
Oh,
much. And I
right.
felt like there's probably been times when there's been a book that they weren't that into, but they, because of our
That's the point of our growth.
commitment
Yes.
to the group. Yeah.
and I kept saying, it's going to get better. It is going to get better. And it just didn't for me. It felt like to me, it could have been in a short story, like that you would pull out of a Reader's Digest and read like while you're waiting in a doctor's office.
See, I don't read when I'm in a doctor, but I understand your point.
Yeah, a short story.
Like a short story. It just felt like so dragged out to be what it was.
Right.
I kept waiting for it to get more substantial,
Mm-hmm.
and it just never quite got there.
Okay.
I agree. It wouldn't have been a book that I would have suggested from the shelf or said, let me read this. It wasn't great. However, I didn't dislike it terribly, but I wouldn't like recommend it.
Yeah.
Like by next year's time, I probably won't even remember what the book is about.
Right.
It was very basic, just
Yeah.
like a normal Starbucks, Uggs, North Face type thing.
Mhm.
Just basic.
Mm.
Nothing that stands out.
I
Yeah,
get it.
very ordinary.
Mhm.
So I thought the book was okay. So I didn't love the book. I didn't hate the book. I think that I extracted one or two things that made me think about how I might move forward and do some things better.
I agree with that.
So yeah, I didn't love it, but I think the thing about holiday reading or holiday themed or books that people recommend during the holidays is that it's very, they tend to be very flat and not very complex because you've got all these other things going on in your life, but you still want to read and commit to, that filling that, space in your
Good
schedule. Point. So I looked, for a lot of different themes and a lot of different books. And I think that's kind of like the trend. I was thinking about what I was going to say when it was my turn to talk about, did I like it? And really just turning something, kind of like basic to, why I think this book is one where people read at Christmas time, holiday time. Yes.
So after you finish, I'm going to convey one of our viewers' thoughts on the book.
Yes, please.
So Toni said, I enjoyed the premise and the message it was trying to put out, but overall did not enjoy the book.
Right. Agreed. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sticking with it, Toni.
Yeah.
Really. Because, that's what it's about, right?
But I also felt it was an easy read or a listen. So it's easy to get through. And I must say I did enjoy it because I read it to Massachusetts and home. So it was an easy. It helped all the time. It was an easy listen while I'm doing a car ride. I had to focus. It wasn't like.
Now, did you speed it up or did you?
Oh, yeah, I think I had a 1.75.
1.75.
Well, I think I had it even more than that. I mean, I was like, let's
get through this.
Well, yeah,
because you didn't have to have it slow.
Yeah, because
her voice at the 1x speed, the regular normal speed, was so slow. I was like, why is she talking this way?
Yeah, I had to move it along. But also the thing is there weren't many characters. So like in a lot of the books that we read, there's so many characters. You're trying to figure out the connections, figure out the past, the present.
There's nothing to figure out.
There was nothing to figure out. What I wanted to get to was what we all wanted to get to, is whether or not, do you go on the plane or not? Do you go into, this situation and stay, or do you make a different decision?
Yeah.
And that part was really great. So who was your favorite character? The limited characters.
I will answer that last. This is a tricky
I feel like I'm going to my right this time. I think I'm starting with my right.
Yes. Good idea.
Me
your favorite character. Yes.
And why?
Okay.
Dory likes to know the why.
I do. So I really liked.
Yeah. What is your why?
I really liked Heather.
Who's Heather?
The sister.
Georgie's sister.
What?
And I liked her because she was unsure of herself, and she asked a lot of questions with the people around her. She trusted her sister, and they had such a nice relationship, having not been in the same house, growing up in the same house, and I just liked how she reached to Georgie. She was also like, asking her, like, are you having an affair? Like, what are you doing? Why are you acting so strange? Why are you acting so differently? But then, trying to help her sister through what she felt was like a hard time, because she says, I've never not known you without Neil. So what is going on? I liked her. She, she didn't know if she was attracted to this girl. She thought she might be the pizza girl, Allison,
Yeah.
and then delivering the babies, like the puppies. The puppies. I thought that was. I just liked her, and I felt like I wanted to hear a little bit more about her. She seemed a little bit more mature than even Georgie, for an 18-year-old. So I just thought that was really kind of impressive. What about you, Daria?
I hate to say it. I'm wondering if you guys are going to guess what character I like the most. I actually like Neil the best.
Me too.
Yeah, but I'm upset that I liked him.
Oh my, why?
Because he has similarities to my ex. He has a lot of similarities. And I found myself rooting for him in the book. I was like rooting for Neil.
Look at that.
I mean, I don't think he was, he wasn't this like dashing, debonair, like, I'm gonna, like you would find in a romance novel.
Right.
But he was like steady, consistent. He had like layers, he wasn't, look at you. Look at her. Look at y'all see her.
I'm on the same way.
So there was a lot to Neil. Yeah. And I liked that he was, he was stable. He was a very stable presence throughout the book. So that's my why.
I love that.
I liked Neil. Yes.
Danielle.
I love that too. I also liked Neil. I thought he was an excellent father, a wonderful husband. And he also reminded me of your ex and your husband and my husband at times. Because, without someone like that in the home that helps you and is a helpmate, you can't do what you do every day.
Absolutely.
And if you leave the house and you can feel guilty or there's just all these pieces that you had to pick up. But Neil was the constant. He was the steady. Those girls loved him.
Oh, yeah.
They look for daddy when they look for mom.
Absolutely.
And what a blessing to those girls to see that and to Georgie. And, I don't think she planned to be a horrible wife, but she was. she was terrible.
She did not get a gold star for being a wife.
She didn't even get a silver star. I don't even think I'm giving her a star. I think Neil gave her a second chance, and she consider herself lucky.
Yeah.
Because she was an absent mother.
Yeah.
And she did not have her priorities straight.
And what I loved is Heather asked her, like, if there's no Neil, like, how do your kids eat?
Right.
And she's like, what do they eat if Neil's not around? Yogurt. Like, she didn't even know. I mean, it's true. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I understand.
So Toni said it felt like that the book was, this is back on our last question, but it was very rushed at the end.
So
after it drug on, like kind of just on and on and on. And then at the end, it was like, okay, done.
Well, I always say before, publishers' deadlines, I feel like it was like that. Yeah.
We have read books like that before.
Absolutely. You're like,
okay, turn.
What else would you add to this?
Well, I was hoping, in a weird, twisted way, I was hoping that her life got erased. Like, I was hoping everything she was going to get out to Omaha and find that the kids didn't exist. Neil didn't know who she was. Like, and Dawn was going to be there with Neil. Like, because again, who did I say I was rooting for? I was rooting for Neil.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that she would get like you're out the picture.
So what I think held Neil onto the family was one. I think he was hoping that Georgie would realize where she had her flaws and kind of check herself.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't physically attractive, so he probably felt grateful to have her
because she was so pretty. Yeah.
So Neil stepped up when Georgie faltered. It was his strength that kept the marriage and the family together.
Absolutely.
Oh, agreed. Agreed. And
her job.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have been able to do
her job.
Exactly.
Her job. But as demanding as Seth was, expecting her to coming up in her bedroom while she's laying in the bed.
He was like inappropriate, disrespectful to her marriage.
Yeah.
And she didn't realize all this time.
But he took advantage of the fact that she was in love with him. And
but did you think he loved her?
No.
At the end, he
loved himself.
He was so selfish.
And when he realized he was about to lose her, he was like, "Okay, I'll claim you now.
Right,
I want you now." Yeah. Even then, he's manipulative.
Right, he was all about it.
And then he was like, "I want to hear you say it." Like I was just like, "Oh yeah, I hate that." Like, don't force me to say anything.
And the fact of the matter is that he did not have the kind of skills or capabilities for what Georgie really needed, and she didn't even know that.
Right.
That was not the person for her. Mm-hmm. She would have never been as successful having him as a partner. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, I did not like him at all. And then the other part too was that the Georgie's family.
Yeah.
They were like, why do you work? Like, why are you working like this? This is like not healthy. It's not normal.
Right.
Don't you see, and so she's like getting this info and she's like, well, you don't really understand. Like, no, what we understand is that this is too much.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything out of this job. Like, like that,
Yeah.
So Elisa, why do you think that Neil will never really be happy? She's saying the saddest part to her is that she thinks that
why
he's never going to find his true happiness.
Maybe
his happiness comes from within. It seems like he'd be fine alone.
No, I think because he's always settling for her. He's settling with her. She's not. He doesn't do it for her. So I agree with Elisa. Yeah, like that's not.
But does he know what he wants? Like, so
he wants her. I think,
but because like towards the end, when it's like he knew he couldn't be with Dawn because everything with Dawn was predictable. Yeah. He liked the unpredictability of Georgie. Yeah. So I just thought that I thought that was very interesting too. He instead of having somebody who was set and very direct, boring, no sparkle. Georgie, he said he loved it in 10 seconds. It was something different every time.
Yes.
And Dawn would have been like a snooze. It would have been a snooze fest.
It would have been. It would have been safe and comfortable.
And how can you live your whole life like that? That's boring.
Well, but okay, so why did they? Here's what I don't understand. Why did they not talk for that 10 days? Why did he not talk to her?
He was pissed off.
I think he got on the plane and went.
Yeah, but when she showed up, was he all of a sudden willing to just?
Because she showed up in a snowstorm. Like when someone does an act of like love, like
the grand gesture.
Yes. That's a grand gesture. Who doesn't love that?
And when did Georgie ever do one for him?
To me, that's a knee-jerk reaction.
No, I love it. I thought it was amazing.
But the thing is that when else did Georgie ever do that and show Neil?
Yeah, like you're first. I'm gonna go whatever. I'm gonna come out of my way. I'm gonna do something for you. I'm gonna take a risk.
I'm gonna put you first.
Yeah, but it wasn't that risky. She knew he was gonna be.
It was risky.
The only thing she was worried about is that her life was erased. She wasn't worried that if she showed up and everything was as it was, that he wouldn't accept her. I don't think she was worried about that.
She didn't know what she should worry about because she was all about herself.
And I don't know if her mother-in-law would have been like, "Yeah, you can bring your girlfriend in here, Neil." While your wife waits, do you know what I mean? Because your mother is like you're there with your daughters,
right?
And your wife has to work.
Seth.
Yeah.
And Christmas Day, no, I'm gonna pay a lot of money to fly on the 23rd, come back the 26th, whatever. You don't let your family go on the holiday.
Do we agree with her decision not to go with her family? Like, let's talk about that. I agree.
Terrible decision.
It was a terrible decision.
I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I don't know why she felt like she had to do that. Why couldn't she have worked remotely? I mean, what all played out during
Seth was so controlling.
Or don't work at all. Yeah. Like no Seth.
Right.
No.
And nowadays people can work remotely. So
right.
I don't see a point for anybody ever doing that unless it's something where it's like direct service and you're committed to something or you've made this previous commitment. Like this just seemed like it came out of the blue.
Like you've said in the past, Daria, like I don't know if the author did enough research. Like there's work remote. Like, that's a real thing. And obviously because we do it, you and I do it. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. Like we'll set up a go-to meeting like Christmas Eve morning and that's about all you get from
me.
But I still agree that at some point there's a boundary, there's a limit.
Sure.
I would say not on Christmas Eve and not on Christmas. That's my time with my family. That's why I quit my other job 25 years ago.
Yeah. So Toni said she did make a terrible decision.
She did.
Or horrible, she said. And then Elisa said, the reason that, so basically she said, that Seth and Georgie feed off of each other.
Yeah, they did.
And that Georgie has to figure out how to balance work and Neil. Like that's what will have to change. And you don't think she can do that?
I think she needs a new job personally.
Yeah.
I think she's in love with Seth and she needs to get over it.
Or does she in love with Seth but needs the
comfort and security? We have a contravailing viewpoint. Sophia said, I think it was a good move to stay and work. Everything that they had been working toward all that time was so close. It was right in reach.
Wow.
Right around the corner.
Some things aren't worth you catching.
They're not.
Some things aren't worth you catching.
There's some lived experiences that tell us that.
I just feel like you have to have boundaries. You have to know what life you want to lead and who comes first in your life. And I feel like marriage or relationships, a lot of times it's not how much you're in love with somebody, but it's choices. Like I'm going to choose you first every time. It's not like, I feel like I always want to choose you first, but I'm going to choose to put you first so that we could always stay together. You know what I mean? Right. Like, don't you feel like every day a relationship is a choice?
Every day.
And what makes a great relationship is the sum of all your choices. Right.
I agree.
And when you choose, I'm not gonna put my family first, I'm not gonna put my husband first, you look up and you're like, both of y'all like, why are we here?
What are we doing? what are we doing?
Well, so Elisa's saying though, Neil told her it was okay. Go ahead.
Of course he would. I would
too. Say that.
Honey, bye. Do you need me to help you with your bag? Right. And I dare you to get on that plane and leave without me.
I left you 5 meals.
Passive aggressive.
No, it's not. I'm gonna see what you do. I'm gonna see if you know your priorities.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's passive aggressive. No. You don't think so?
Well, I think he already said we'll be in Omaha.
Yeah, I'm going. You're not holding me up.
Yeah, but he said we'll be in Omaha. So how is this going to work? He already said like where we would be.
Yeah.
He was speaking for the family. Georgie was speaking for herself. Yes, Georgie was Team Georgie.
Yeah.
And Neil was team family.
And you can't have a relationship with control. Neil would have been wrong if he tried to control her. So he's saying, honey, you have the right to make your own choice and your own decisions. But I have the right to choose my reaction to your choices.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what he did. I'm not picking up the phone when you call.
Yep. I'm going to freeze you out. Yep. And have the children call from the phone and leave her voice messages that she got later. And who, as a mother in this time, I mean, how do you disconnect totally? You let your phone die?
Right.
I mean, again, what kind of parent are you? Like, how are you not tapped in?
Person.
The other thing I thought
but didn't that seem unrealistic though?
No. My children let their phone go down all the time.
And they're adults.
And it's intentional.
All right.
Well, no, I think they're adults who...
She was willing to give up everything for nothing.
Who says that?
Toni. Giving up everything for nothing. That's
Agreed.
deep, Toni. I don't know if you meant to have it
Toni,
sound that deep.
Good point.
And it's like, what if they didn't like the pilot that she pitched?
Correct.
Then she loses her family and her job. But Sophia said sometimes after you put your family first and you end up forgetting who you are, your goals and your dreams, you end up incomplete.
Yeah, you have that balance.
There has to be balance. I think that, speaking as a professional person, I think, there's a balance because your job doesn't love you back.
It does not.
It pays your bills. And there is, of course, interest and passion in what you do. Certainly, Georgie had a talent. But at the end of the day, that's right. Someone can say no. And then you still have to continue. But where's the support that you get?
Well, but I think this is an interesting point. This whole idea of like, what is it that really motivates people? Like, not everybody is motivated by the idea of family.
Right.
Some people are more professionally motivated.
Which we know she was crying 37 weeks pregnant in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And said, what are we doing?
Well, I mean.
So I think she was really kind of nervous about being a parent. And she was worried. And then when Neil was like, I'll quit my job. We need your paycheck. I'll stay home.
Yeah, he was good.
That was the other thing I think about him saying, I still have to go and maintain some sort of identity.
Yeah.
Because he was a stay-at-home dad.
Right.
I still have to connect with my family because this is what I do on a daily basis. I can't tap out of connecting to my family, which is why I think she also went.
Yeah, and she wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I feel like you should always have some non-negotiables.
Wow.
Well, okay. So I think maybe this book could have been, if the whole phone thing, the actual landline sci-fi aspect of it wasn't in there, maybe it would have been more relatable. I think that like,
because that was real unrealistic.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like fantasy part of it that could never happen is what kind of made me treat the book less seriously.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Maybe without that, I would have tried to be more into I don't know.
So my piece around that, the sci-fi piece, why do people like that? That kind of genre? And what makes us think about the fact that if we could go back in time, do we change some of the decisions we make, or do we stay on the road that?
But to me, it's moot. You can't
go back. Real.
Yeah, you can't go back. Like, I mean, I understand wishful thinking, like, or regrets. I understand that. That's real. But we can't do anything about that. So I guess if you're saying that, like, that kind of having a fantastical version of like being able to influence that and helping people deal with their wishful thinking or their regrets. Okay, then maybe if that's what you're saying, then maybe there's value in that style of writing.
And I'm saying that for Georgie, what made her change her heart? It was all of the fantasy about going back and hoping and wishing that Neil would make the same choices because he was going to break up with Dawn. She wasn't sure, so she was playing out how they ended up being together. And she was hoping that Neil was going to make the same choice. But it's like, yeah, it's not really true. You can't go back. It's moot. However, that's what made her pivot and say, oh my gosh, I need to get to my family.
Yeah.
Georgie didn't think of it on her own without that like landline piece.
Right.
Yeah, but how would that same thing happen in real life?
It might not happen in real life.
But no, but I'm saying, but isn't that what we're supposed to be thinking about? Like application to our real life?
I can think of the application, but I know it couldn't really happen.
So if you can't go back and change the past, how could she have achieved what she achieved without this piece of it?
I think the fact that she was thinking about Neil and all the things that made her want him in the beginning, for 15 years, it was flat. She wasn't that appreciative when he warmed up her meal, rubbed her back. She was just thinking, this is what I expected him to do, versus him wanting to do this and me appreciating what he's doing.
But it might have been him icing her out, because then you feel a sense of loss and like, oh my God.
Oh, I definitely think that agreed. Yep. I think that to me was the way to Georgie's thinking.
But to answer your question, if I could change things, I would probably change 80% of my life or the decisions that I made. But I don't know if it will put me back where I am now and everything is good. But would I change if I could go back knowing what I know now? Absolutely.
Really?
But heck yeah. But where would I be? I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Right.
You know?
I agree.
But there's a lot of doors I wouldn't open, a lot I would close.
Windows, doors.
Doors, windows, out with the ceiling, the caulk around the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of things that like shades down, doors closed, things nailed. I mean,
what do you call those? Those shutters?
The plantation shutters?
Yeah.
Caulk, insulation. I mean,
sealed up.
Some things would just be very different.
So can I share a comment? So two things. So Elisa is saying that she has found it helpful to read sci-fi and fiction because it improves her imagination. She dreams bigger and helps her see helps her want more out of life. Toni,
that's right, Elisa.
George is we're still on Georgie with Toni. Toni's saying, look, Georgie was always putting her family last. And that's what you were saying about Team Georgie versus Team Family.
Correct.
Right. Neil had a Team Family perspective.
She
had a Team Georgie perspective. Yeah. At the end of the day, though, you're right, Toni. You do have to figure out what is most important to you in your own life, and then find a balance, because it's never any one thing. Yeah. It's never one thing.
Nope.
It's like many objectives that we're always trying to solve for at different points in our lives. Right?
I was giving a colleague feedback on this document, and it's kind of like when we're coaching people and making improvements, working in kind of quadrants, right? Because it's never just like, it's not even two things. It may not even be four. Before we can kind of handle, visually, but thinking about what is on that plate. Yeah. What is a non-negotiable? What is a must-have? Yeah. Versus a nice to have. Versus like I'm not doing it. So you have to really know that. I know for me, like my number one job is being a mom. I just don't know how I would be able to do that momming without a career, because I just think that that's a value add that I bring to my children. The value proposition I bring to them, and what I want them to see in their future is a hardworking person, and what that looks like. And not that you don't work hard in the home. It's just, for me, I attach that to a particular career. And so that's a non-negotiable for me.
Right. I want my kids to see I work to live, but I don't live to work. Like, I don't want to just work all the time.
I think you've done a good job at that.
I think I did.
Absolutely.
Like,
you get a gold star.
Yes. Work is in its box. And when that box is done, it's all about yes, But I think that's what it's about for me. But if other women, like, their desire and their passion is going up then they should do that. Absolutely. But then they might not need the family and the Neil behind.
Correct.
They might just need themselves and maybe like a weekend co-parenting or something. I don't know how it could work or no.
Well, but I think
no kids.
Yeah. Part of what I think everybody has in the back of their mind, especially as you're like developing over time, is like what everybody else's expectations are. What is the norm? And how much does that norm work for me? Or how much am I going to need to do something different than that norm? Yeah. Like, I mean, I know for me personally, I've thought about that a lot. Do I do this because I know this is what people are expecting me to do, or do I do something different? And a lot of times I've chosen to do the different thing. And,
Yeah, and you're still here.
Still here.
And you're still fabulous.
Woo-hoo.
And that's exactly it. And I think about Georgie, she had some limited emotional capacity. You know, just thinking about her father and going to Michigan on a plane and not liking it, and then he died. And so there were some definite like emotional limitations that Georgie experienced and had. And we don't know as much about Neil. Obviously, we see the really great, warm relationship it seems like he has with his mother.
Yeah.
But Georgie with her mom and her, new husband, but it was like her second new husband.
And he's young.
He's 3 years older
so the
than
mom
her.
clearly has some issues.
The mom, and so Georgie had some emotional challenges, I think, limitations, and just the way she described her relationship with her father. And I think that, having said all that, her career sometimes even becomes that much more important because it's
an escape.
But do we think Georgie is really going to change?
Well, back to hoping and wishing. It is the holiday season.
Let's not.
It is the holiday.
But do we really think?
Are we placing a wager on this?
Like, what do you really think? Like,
if I were
like see
woman.
them 6 months later. Like the show is over. The show.
No, she's not changing.
She's not changing.
No.
She wants.
That's what I'm saying.
Again.
It was a knee-jerk reaction,
right? Because she felt a sense of, oh no, I'm gonna lose this man.
And so that's why I was wondering. All right, well, take the whole phone thing out of it. Take the 10 days out of it. How could she really be different? How does one evolve?
I'm hoping.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend. Well, I do have an opinion.
Yes.
I think one can evolve over time, and it could take years.
Yeah.
And it's a sum again of small decisions. I don't think it could happen overnight.
And it's not automatic.
It's not automatic.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
And
that's why we don't trust this behavior.
But I feel like it could work with Neil, but like in 8 years, or 10 years, or 3 years. It takes consistency, and it takes for
small
him
chunks
to say, "Okay, honey, I noticed that you actually came home by 8 tonight."
Yes,
and love her through that.
Right. Or I noticed that you canceled this event to be here. I appreciate
that. Yes.
So you're saying it takes 2?
It does. It does. It takes Neil to love her through her trauma and her issues
and her changes.
But what if Neil was out of the picture? What if it was just
Seth and her?
No. What if it was just Georgie? And now Georgie. No, Seth's out of the picture.
She's saying,
Neil's out of the picture.
Can Georgie change on her
own? Looking for a healthy relationship.
I don't believe you can learn it outside of a relationship. It has to be with someone. You have to practice it. It's easy to put it in your head and say, I'm gonna do A, B, and C.
But the actual transfer and application.
Transfer and application.
You know
experiential learning.
So transfer, meaning acquisition, TMA.
Okay.
So you have to actually be in it to practice habits.
Do we agree with this perspective?
Yeah.
I'd like some opinions. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Elisa says, if Neil was more secure and really wanted Georgie to be happy, it could work.
Elisa, good point.
Elisa, that is brilliant. That is so true.
And then Toni says, not really. I don't know that Neil needs to be more secure.
And we are still talking about the book, so
but
thank you.
Not really. She just. Okay, Toni. Not really. She just changed for the situation. She needed the comfort of knowing she could continue doing and acting as she was without having consequences. That's what I feel, Toni. You're so right. Yes.
Toni, yep.
She didn't,
Toni gets it.
And Alicia goes, they might not be a perfect match, but marriage has to be about accommodating.
I disagree with that.
Oh my, okay, Daria disagrees. We're going to hear more about that.
We're going to hear more about
so Elisa says they might be a perfect match, but they're not perfect. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I disagree with the perfect match. Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, they might not be a perfect match. Okay, yes, Elisa, you're correct. I agree with that. But marriage has to be about accommodating, which Daria doesn't agree.
Correct.
I do agree with that statement.
I do agree with accommodating.
Yes.
No, I don't.
And then Elisa, and we'll hear more about that.
We'll unpack that.
We'll unpack that. And then Elisa says, I think Georgie will change some of her actions. Agreed. Yes.
Yes, agreed.
Absolutely.
Elisa, agreed. Well,
or no, some, not all.
And slowly over time, some.
She might not let Seth in her bedroom again.
She may say, Seth, I can't work after 6. Seth, don't call me after 7 p.m. Something she will create some kind of condition for improved behavior and focus and attention at home. because
it's
that's
not going to be long term. I'm telling you.
No, some things will be. But some things won't be.
Agreed. And some things Neil will.
I think we're agreeing with you.
We agree with you, but some things
we are speculating.
Well, from experience.
Let me not.
Oh. Not just our own, but
like from what we see, what we see out there when we get phone calls. You know what I mean? Like just change over time is slow.
Yes.
And I will say that is slow and steady.
Wins
the race, and impactful decisions along the way to change one's behavior. You have to be explicit.
Well, here's the thing. Habits take a long time to form.
Absolutely.
And in order to change habits, according to what I've read,
the research states.
Yes.
No, seriously, there's a book called by Charles Duhigg, and it's called The Power of Habit. And he posits that you have to have a different craving to change your habits. Your craving has to change. So I don't think her craving has changed.
It might be family now, or not being home for Christmas.
Yeah, or the fact that he could get on a plane with his girls and leave her and be okay with it.
And the kids are okay too.
So she has
they just want to know about movies.
In order
we watch this movie.
In order for a sustained shift in behavior, she has to have different habits, and different habits require different cravings. So
I think you should definitely make sure we know that book title.
The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, because I've read it 3 times. I mean, the first time it didn't take, second time it didn't take, maybe third time.
But the whole idea about a craving, Danielle, having a different craving, I get it. I mean, loud and clear.
I want to understand it, but I do remember that's the main premise of the book.
I definitely believe that it is a craving, like an ultimate desire of how you want this book to end.
How you want things to play out.
Yes.
So how do you want things to play out? I think for me, the older I get, the further down the road you see. You know, when you're 25 and 28, you can't see down the road. You can't see, all the things that can happen to you along the way. And who do you want to come home?
I think you can see that at 23. However, the person that you choose to have that future with doesn't see the same thing you see. Then it might not work.
Now you're talking.
But at the end of the day, a 23-year-old can want the same thing they want at 40 or 45.
It's possible.
It is.
And it depends on maturity level. Like lots of those things. But I think you could see it. One can see it and then say, wow, like, well, I could get somebody else. Or I could find something else. Or I could whatever. And then you're kind of like, wait a second. You backed that up. And I'm just thinking about our conversation, from one of our wise friends, being a little bit ahead of us, saying, it's not as bad.
Yes. I'm wondering who this is, but
our engineer associate from our dinner.
Oh, yes.
Our wise friend.
Oh, yes.
Our wise friend.
Yes.
No,
like legit.
Oh, no, like legit.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Wise.
Yes. Agreed.
Saying like the things that you also think are important and value at one stage are different.
Very different.
And your driving forces, again, cravings or whatever.
That's a good point. Cravings have to change.
They have to change.
Yes.
Because if you stay the same, you talk, the same things are your cravings, you're not growing.
Now he does say that you can influence your cravings to change. And because a habit loop is like thoughts, feelings, actions, and the craving is in the middle. So he says that you can intercept that loop at any point to try to start shifting the craving.
So if we're thinking about Georgie in that loop, yeah. I mean, thoughts, I
want the great career.
Right. And then, but
I feel fulfilled when I'm successful in my career.
Right.
Behavior, I will drop anything to run to do what Seth says because the craving is like
success. Or is it Seth? Or both?
I think it's Seth. Ultimately, she wanted Seth, but Seth didn't want her. And I feel like if her and Seth got together,
it'd be a disaster.
No, I think it would be amazing.
He's like a power
for a year.
Okay.
And when they were having their little moment, I was so worried that she was going to drop everything and go to Seth. I was like, oh my gosh, you idiot, don't do this.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to just like
shake her. Right. But she didn't.
She did.
But I mean, it would be amazing for a year.
And then a disaster.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Elisa thought that was funny. Now, can we go back to accommodating?
I'm sorry, yes, because Elisa made another comment. I know. And why you. Know. So Elisa says, I think people are accommodating to make it work in marriage, but you may lose pieces of yourself. Yes. You have to figure out which is more important, being together or being yourself by yourself. Okay, so what do we want to say about that?
Wow, Lisa.
That's very astute.
You're dropping knowledge bombs today, Lisa.
Toni says Seth would have cheated. Absolutely.
Toni, right on.
Oh, I missed that. Where did she say
at the bottom,
that?
last comment.
Toni, you're right.
Yeah,
Toni, you're right, because he was all about Seth.
Yeah,
how do you have somebody come to your room after you're shuffling out the girl out of your bed,
right?
To work with you? I mean, he was disgusting. He was gross.
Yeah.
Did not like him at all. No respect for Seth.
Well, I have no problem with Seth.
I did not like Seth.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying my ice.
You wouldn't date somebody.
I would not. Absolutely not. And that's why I don't have a problem with Seth.
Right.
Because he's not
impact.
Zero impact.
Right.
You're not dating me.
Right.
I would never date somebody like you.
Right.
And he doesn't have any commitment.
What if one of your friends was dating someone like
that happens and I get angry. I get very angry, very, very angry inside. I'm like, can you see this? He's like, Seth, like, what are you doing? And I say it mean and harsh and they don't listen. And then I just have to watch it play out.
And you say, if you like it, I love it.
If you like it, I love it. Ultimately, I do. Because that's how I protect myself.
And your health.
And my health.
And your health.
Right. I get stress-related illness because I'll worry.
Right.
And I'm like, and I get that you're going to have wild, passionate sex for a year. And then it's going to blow up and combust. Right?
Right. So accommodating. Right. So accommodating. Tell us.
Okay. Elisa said something about accommodating.
Yeah. You can lose pieces of yourself, she said.
But aren't you supposed to lose pieces of yourself?
For a better self, for a better thing?
Some pieces should be lost.
I think so.
I mean, I think ultimately, here's my theory, is that, and who am I to offer a theory?
You are very important.
Well, here's my theory. I think that you have to be with somebody that you can grow with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, if I have to boil it down into what I think, and I look at successful relationships, I think that the ones that work the best is the two people respect each other and believe that they can grow together,
right?
And not feel threatened by the other person's growth, like a mutually, like a symbiotic, growth-focused relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what works.
But I think you said it. Like, I feel like you can't be with someone you don't respect and who doesn't respect you.
No.
And the moment I lose respect for you is the moment I can't be with you, because wow.
Whoa. And it's and if you stay, it can be a long road back to where we're respecting and figuring out whether or not we can grow. And I think in terms of accommodating, I think that is something that you have to consider. What is your bandwidth and capacity to do so? And what is the most egregious thing or non-egregious thing that you can work through or not work through? For the greater whatever, good, bad, indifferent, you have to figure that out. Mm-hmm. Because for some, the bandwidth is not very much. Yeah. For some, it's super long. So you have to figure that out.
And it depends what are you accommodating?
Right. Correct.
Well, and I think there are close words that are very similar to accommodate that have, for me, a more positive connotation. Like there's collaboration, there's compromising. And of those two, I would even say collaborating is even better. Like two people coming from separate sides, you might want different things, but you can figure out, all right, here's what will satisfy both of us.
Oh, I have an example of that.
Oh, let's hear it, E.G.
Example gratia. Example gratia. Example gratia. So I leave my purse in the car. And Larry hates it. We've been talking about this for years.
When you leave your purse in the car?
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
It's unsafe.
Because we have heroin addicts that come in and look through the windows to try
but you leave your purse in the car?
In my car. Yes.
Keep going.
In the trunk? Or
no. In the car.
Right, in the car.
So, but that being said, he does not like it. He's talked to me about it multiple times. I promise every time I'll do better. I'll bring it in. At the end of the day, I probably never committed to the idea. So I leave it right where it's always been, in my car. So we went to therapy, and the therapist said, well, how about you put it in the trunk? And that was an amazing idea that Larry and I never even thought of. That's a good compromise. I can accommodate you, Larry, and put my purse in the trunk. Mm-hmm. Now he's happy it's in the trunk, and I'm happy that it's still in the car.
So you don't feel like you're forgetting anything. You have everything you need.
Yes.
And he has what he feels security.
Right.
Yep.
So, yeah, sometimes it is just about compromising, and then both parties are happy.
Or collaborating.
We collaborated, but we never came up with that agreement.
You never came up with an action item that made both parties feel good.
Right, because I really felt when I said, okay, baby, I'll bring it in. I felt that I would at the time I said it, kind of like Georgie, but I didn't really.
You didn't change your behavior.
I didn't change my behavior. It did not become a habit.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, oh, I'll leave it in the trunk. Right. Yeah, so
that's wonderful. It is.
And that's my
cheers to you. No, because that's a platform for continued whatever. Something else. How can we come up with an example that will bring us closer to the right? I mean, especially now back to holiday time. When you have multiple competing events, family experiences, events, how do you come up with collaborate to make sure that everybody has right? No, but like
Elisa's comment.
Oh, what did Elisa say?
Larry's
See, that's the problem. Larry's right. That's the problem, Lisa. It's not about right or wrong. He is right.
Sophia is.
Larry is right. Our executive producer is right.
I know.
It's the holiday.
At least says Larry's right. LOL. My car was broken into. I used to do the same thing. I know, girl. I ain't say he was wrong. It just did not go into my habit cycle.
You know what? And we did miss something on the growth piece.
Okay.
So Toni said you have to be with somebody who makes you want to be better.
Absolutely.
And Elisa said, but you have to find the right person who can handle that.
Absolutely.
And that's what I was talking about
real.
Being with somebody who doesn't feel threatened
by
your growth.
Agreed. Or by who you are, period. Like,
because some people like the sparkly thing and then they get to it. They like that sparkly, shiny thing and they get to it and it's like, whoa.
But they want to cover that sparkly. They want to cover that sparkly thing and keep it all to themselves.
Yeah, keep the sparkly
thing. But then that sparkly
thing
thing will lose their sparkle.
Right. They start to dim. And you got to let the light shine. Toni.
Or will cause their wings to melt and they fall back.
Icarus, right?
Okay. Yeah. Let's use that mythological example.
They were there for a reason, to give example of one's habits and behaviors. That's right.
Absolutely. Okay, question, guys.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That is why they came up with those stories.
Yeah,
to teach life lessons.
They have mythology lessons. That's what I'm saying. That's why they came up with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know, would any of you ladies,
oh boy,
including you guys,
wait, hold on. You never ask questions, so I don't know what this is.
I always ask questions, but I just throw them in and y'all don't realize that. So, you know that game, Fuck, Marry, Kill?
Oh.
Beep. Okay.
Sorry, you too.
Sex, Marry, Kill. So we have Seth. And we have Vanessa. No, never mind. I got to change it. Would you date Seth just for a one night stand, for a drink, or you're going to have a passionate relationship with no commitment? Like, would you do any of these things?
None of the above. None of the above.
Not even for a drink.
No.
How about as the coworker that he is?
No. I would have a drink with Seth.
I would too.
That's about it.
Because he'd be fun.
He didn't seem fun to me. He didn't seem fun to me. Personally.
I think it'd be fun to watch all these stupid girls coming out of his life.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was something that but it was kind of like when Georgie was in her feelings about him, that wasn't nice.
Yes.
But being on the back end of it, I would of course, be happy.
If you know who he is.
Yeah, as long as you know who he is.
That's interesting.
Okay, so
wait, Toni goes, Seth, I could party with back in the day. That's what I'm talking about. Like Seth could be that boy that you just have fun with, but it's just
you could see what made him attractive to Georgie.
I can see that, but that's a line. That's a difficult line for some people to draw.
And I can understand. You're like, you know what? That I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna leave that right here because that if I get it.
Yeah, I want no involvement.
I would be okay. I don't want anybody that anybody can have. So once I know you had her, I don't want you.
Right.
So I'd be like, I'm not interested. So
my 25-year-old self would say.
She said 23-year-old. That's close. That was close.
Yeah, and he said the same thing.
And Keisha were on the same page.
Yes.
In the same time frame.
Right.
When the stakes were much lower.
So the next time we see everyone
will be
2020.
Oh, how exciting.
And what are we reading?
Nickel Boy.
Shall we tell them?
Well,
you picked that.
Yeah, but I don't have enough of a recollection of the plot. I just know that it's going to be a challenging. What?
I'm sorry, Sophia answered.
Oh.
She said she would date and sleep with him, but never take him seriously, or I'll be cursing him out too often. Right? Because Seth would probably be a good time, Sophia. Right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well,
okay. Sorry.
Sophia, Toni, Elisa, Carter, thank you for joining.
Yes,
so we do have a book for January. We'll have the description, we'll have the details in the comments section. But it is called Nickel Boys. It's been trending.
Yep, by Colson Whitehead.
Pretty popular. Very different than
guys.
Than this book and
I hear
others.
It's very, very sad.
So I think it will really be a deep conversation, but we'll have the date, we'll have those pieces of information. So Toni, you are the winner today. Well, we made you. Congratulations. We would like to send you a gift card. Yay. So if you could email your address, if that's okay. We would love to send it to you. It's going to be for somewhere coffee-like. So, but
if you don't drink coffee, let us know.
We have an alternate prize. Coffee. Absolutely. Let us know. But thank you, Toni. That was great.
And let us know if you're Dunkin' or Starbucks.
Absolutely.
Her picture was phenomenal. We're not going to show it, but her picture was.
It was awesome.
Phenomenal.
It was.
It looked like a dress.
Yeah, you
like a dress, and it had like tinsel hanging down and colors.
It was really cool.
Lights.
Now we
like my tinsel,
right? But now, Toni, we just have to figure out a way to get to that lasagna, that great lasagna that you make too. Now we have to figure that part out.
That's true.
So, so we'll see you in January 2020, and this has been Daria. Tell the stats. You're our statistician. This is episode
12, but we have read together since we all started this probably around 33 or 34 books.
God. Yeah,
since we started this. It's been a wonderful journey.
Great value add to our lives. You've enriched our lives. Yes. We're so grateful and appreciative that people sign up and sign on and add friends and family. And our executive producer, come on over.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you so much. The holidays. We didn't tell him to wear his holiday vest, but Awesome. So listen, have a great holiday season. If you're doing anything fun you want us to know about, certainly email us. We appreciate you, we value you, and we'll see you in 2020. And don't forget, everyone, live the book. Bye, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy holiday. Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy
Three Kings. Everything. Happy everything. Merry everything.
I don't know. Yeah.
Everything.
Merry, happy Kwanzaa,
Hanukkah. Yes. All right. Are we done?